Hey guys, welcome back to another day trading recap video. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, and I think I got a little bit revengeful today. I chased XXII a few times, actually quite a lot. I had like a dozen chases on it and I never got filled. A few times I got filled, but I never got the trade I wanted. And then at one point I just ended up buying way too high with way too big size, and then the thing that all traders fear happened. I got stuck in a big flush. I forced my exit because you just don't know if it's going to halt, if there's news pending, what have you. Took a bigger loss. It was my biggest loss ever, anything like that. But it put me back, or put me past my max loss on the day, which means no more trading for me today. And kind of stuck here with a big loss, which is never fun, but it's part of the game, and you get used to it. Like, I'm not so annoyed about the money. I'm actually very little thinking about the money. I'm just kind of thinking about how poorly my decisions were today. I mean, it was like a few, I don't know, like 20 minutes leading up to the trade. I was already like, I was down like 200 or so, and I was like, there's nothing there for me. I feel like the longer I trade today, the more red I'm getting. I should just call it. And I was about to call it. And then I started trading XXII. And some of my trades were red at first, and then I took my big loser. So that's really going to be the focal point of this recap video. I think it's going to be quite insightful, but here we go. I'm down $1,260. It is what it is, mostly on XXII. It actually doesn't look that bad, but I was actually up on XXII a couple $100, and then in one trade, I gave back like a nice decent chunk. Actually, I'll quickly just show you. Here's my stats for the day. Not very nice. And then, yeah, my last trade, I was long $9,000, and then I got stuck in an 8% flush. It was actually a much bigger flush. I sold before the bottom, and I entered, obviously not at the perfect high. But yeah, so that was pretty bad. But, in general, like, my whole day today was just one long downtrend. If we go to my running P&L, you guys will see that. Just one long downtrend today. And whenever, like, when you're in one of those trends, like, okay, the longer I'm trading today, the more money I'm making, like these. Like, this is when you really want to put the, pedal to the metal. This is when you really want to, take your trading to the next level, size up, so on and so forth. But on a day like today where you notice, like, the market's not great, you're not doing that great, so on and so forth, you never really want to unnecessarily push it. Look at this. I was even green for a second. I think if I noticed I was green, I would have called it. I didn't know I was green today. I was never looking at my P&L in this area. I was looking at a pre-mark, but never in this area. And look at that. I mean, it almost looks like a stock where it's like, tries to break out to the resistance zone, doesn't work. And then we break to a new low, we consolidate for a second, and then we have another sell-off. It literally looks like a stare. I guess in a way, that's psychologically what's happening to me, because when you trade stocks, all you're doing is trading human psychology on a chart. And basically, this is human psychology on a chart as well. And that's why these things, even though it's totally different, this is not a stock, this is exactly what it is in the end. It's human psychology. And, here I had a capitulation. I, was kind of annoyed, tried to do some trades, made a little bit back, so I had my dead cat bounce, but I'm still in a mental red state of mind, and I'm giving back profits, right? So it's really interesting how that works, and I thought it'd be really good to share with you guys. I'll start with XXII, and then I'll go through these other tickers really quick too. I just didn't really find them that interesting, like Rev, for example, just all over the place, but we'll get to this one in a second. Yeah, so this is a ticker we've traded, I've traded this ticker like 6 years ago, I think, for my first time, maybe even longer. At this point, actually, it was longer. I'm getting kind of old. I'm 29. So yeah, actually, I first traded this ticker, I think, when I was 22 or something. So that was like 8 years ago I first traded this ticker. Really, really long time. So this ticker's been pretty much on a perpetual sell-off since the beginning of time. It had its huge spike somewhere, and yeah, this was 2014. Maybe this is where I was trading it. Yeah, it was on this run-up I traded it, and then it sold off, bounced back up, sold off, bounced back up. I don't even know what they do anymore. They used to be doing some sort of cigarettes, e-cigarettes. Anyway, today they popped up, and I was like, okay, well, the relative volume on this isn't great, but it's like one of the few companies that's actually tradable right now, so let me go ahead and try to trade it. 200 million shares outstanding, that's kind of a lot, and $500 million market cap, that's quite high on as well. It's got some catalyst going on right now. So let's see what's going on. So I had actually a really nice front side right here. It never really had like an insane amount of volume until like we broke over 500,000 shares being traded. The run up was kind of slow. Like in this area, we were only up like 20% or so. I'm usually not that excited about a ticker that's only up 20%. Now it's popping up again. Part of me wants to trade it. The other part, like, there's no way I'm going to trade it, but like there's opportunity maybe. Consolidates, pulls back here. I should have been a little bit more attentive to it, because like on the 5 minute, this area was actually holding up pretty nice, and then it starts crawling up. And this part, I don't know what was going on, but like I was chasing every green candle, and every green candle I didn't move, I didn't buy high. I just kind of was trying to get like a decent fill somewhere, and I probably closed like a dozen trades in this area. And I was like, why didn't I just buy it? Like, it's a 5 minute breakout and it's crawling to the front side. What am I doing? Why am I not trading it? And then I finally got like this ridiculous entry here that I closed right away. And then I got again a ridiculous entry here that I closed right away. It popped up, and then it pulled back here, and then I started sizing it around 25, thinking, okay, we'll get a flash pullback, like a hammer candle, and we'll do that last little pop to maybe 2.5 or so. That was my goal. And then all of a sudden I got stuck in this just wicked flush, just absolutely wicked. So 2.5, it was roughly my entry. Then I sold it like 2.08. So I wrote this thing down more or less 8%, as you guys saw before. It did sell off a little bit more, but I could have got a better exit if I waited right around here, like 2.11 or so. But you just don't know if it's going to halt and like keep selling off. We've seen it happen before, and this is already like nightmare number 1, stuck in a flush over 10%. Nightmare number 2 is when that flush turns into a halt with pending news, and then it opens up and it's down another 50% or something insane. That's like nightmare number 2. And I was like, I don't want to have nightmare number 2. So you never really, you don't wait to sell into a bounce necessarily. Sometimes you do if it's like a small, sell off, little correction, maybe like in this area, and something like that, something a little bit more reasonable. But when you see a big red candle like this, like you're not trying to just maybe get out and save 2 cents or 3 cents. You're trying to get out and make sure you don't blow your account is really what you're trying to do, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And this could have easily been halted. I actually have no idea why it didn't. It should have been halted. Well, let's see, 1 to 5 minutes, 10% move in 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, well, okay, maybe not, but it was borderline halted. So yeah, that put me in the red. Everything else today, I don't know. It was just like a bunch of failed attempts. LLL, this one was really annoying. Wasn't the first ticker I traded, but it was somewhere before I traded XXII. This was a really annoying ticker because I like missed the party. I started trading it. It was a little bit late, and then I got stuck in this flush, and I was like really annoyed about that. And I was like, so that was really annoying. I don't know. Look at this low relative volume. I really want to, this is the daily chart down here. Just keep an eye on that. We're trading tickers right now that just aren't that exciting. REV, relative volume, also not that exciting. Huge resistance up here on the daily. I mean, this is just insane resistance. An extremely choppy ticker. 5 minutes choppy. There was maybe a good setup right here. We had a 5 minute breakout, 1 minute pullback. I noticed that a little bit later. That was pretty nice. But when I was trading this ticker, look at this. This is just all over the place. Very frustrating. I got stuck in this flush here as well. I was getting stuck in every flush today. It was like it was my job. In a way, it is my job. I don't know. MULN. This is pretty nasty, just, stuck in this choppy area. Then I was like, oh, looks like I'm a little late to the party here. This ticker's done as well. Look at this relative volume on the daily, very light. So I'm just trading C setups, C tickers at best. XELA was a sub dollar. I'm usually not trading these kind of tickers. I actually got an okay trade. I think it was right here in this flash pullback, and it popped up and I sold. But I realized I was long a tiny amount of shares. I was long like $1,000 on this one. So 1/10 of the size of my XXII flush. WKSP, all these tickers, relative volume is tiny. WKSP, no, not the warrants, just the normal stock. Relative volume on this one's actually somewhat okay. But, at 2.5, we hit the resistance and we just weren't able to break through it. I stopped trading this one prematurely. Even though this is actually the ticker I'm up on most on, well, $36, so basically it's a scratch. I got an entry somewhere in this area looking for a break, but then I was like, this volume is really bad. It's not just a small amount of volume, it's a lot of red volume. So I just closed for a scratch and I just kind of moved on. I looked away. I think really what I should have done today, when I noticed the market was this bad and I was green for even a second, I should have been like, hallelujah, I'm green today on a horrible trading day. Even if it's a scratch, let me call it, let me walk away. So that was my big, and I even had the feeling, that thought was even in my head. Shame on me for not acting upon it. So that was my big mistake today. Let me know if those things happen to you. I think they do happen to everybody. And I hope you guys got some value out of that. Guys, when there's nothing hot to trade, your setup's not appearing, and you've already been staring at the market for 3 hours like myself, it is probably time to walk away and just wait for tomorrow or the next day. I mean, we've been on a really nice little green streak here, so I can't complain. We've had some pretty good stuff. And today, like today, was just super unnecessary. I really unnecessarily gave back profits, so that was my big mistake today, ending a nice little green streak for no reason. So I should have took my $17 profit green day or whatever it was, but basically I just gave back my biggest green day last week. So hopefully we get back on a green streak. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning for the next day trading recap video. Like always, guys, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.